Let's face it, failure sucks. It's embarrassing, it's frustrating, and let's be honest, it can really mess with your confidence. But here's the kicker. Failure is also the best teacher you will ever have. Surprised? Stick around because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why failure isn't your enemy, but your secret weapon to success. All right, picture this. You're learning how to ride a bike. Remember those first few wobbly attempts, the crashes, the scraped knees? Did you give up after falling once or twice? No. You got back up, adjusted your balance, and kept going. And now, riding a bike feels as natural as breathing. That's failure, teaching you, pushing you, shaping you into someone stronger. So, grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's dive into why failure isn't just okay, it's essential. Step 1. Failure forces you to learn. Failure is like that strict but brilliant teacher you had in school. The one who gave you tough assignments and called you out when you slacked off. Sure, it wasn't fun at the time, but didn't you learn the most from them? Think about it. When you fail, you're forced to confront what went wrong. You're analyzing, reflecting, and figuring out how to do better next time. For example, let's say you bombed a presentation at work. Instead of dwelling on the embarrassment, you might realize, oh, I should have rehearsed more, or maybe I need to simplify my slides. Boom, lesson learned. And guess what? Your next presentation will rock. Failure is the ultimate crash course in self-improvement. It highlights your blind spots and pushes you to grow. Without it, you'd stay stuck in your comfort zone, and nothing amazing ever happens there. But here's something even more fascinating. Failure doesn't just teach you practical lessons. It also teaches you about yourself. It reveals your strengths, your weaknesses, and how you handle adversity. In a way, it's like holding up a mirror that shows you who you really are. And isn't self-awareness one of the most powerful tools you can have? Step 2. Failure builds resilience. Here's a little secret. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, every time you face a challenge. And failure? That's the foundation. Imagine life as a boxing match. Failure throws punches, and at first, they hurt. But over time, you learn to take the hits, dodge better, and throw a few punches of your own. Each failure makes you tougher, more adaptable, and ready to face whatever comes next. Look at some of the most successful people in the world. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for TV. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by 12 publishers. If they'd let failure stop them, we'd have no Oprah, no Air Jordans, and definitely no Hogwarts. Resilience turned their setbacks into comebacks. And let's not forget the small, everyday failures we all face. Maybe you burned dinner, missed a workout, or sent an email to the wrong person. These moments may seem minor, but they're opportunities to practice resilience. Because let's be real, life is full of little curveballs, and building resilience in the small things prepares you for the big ones. Step 3, failure fuels creativity. You know that saying, necessity is the mother of invention? Well, failure is the mother of creativity. When things don't go as planned, you're forced to think outside the box, experiment, and come up with new solutions. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed over 1,000 times while inventing the light bulb. When asked about it, he said, I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Each failure brought him closer to the solution. And now, we have electric light. Thanks, Edison. Failure pushes you to innovate, adapt, and improve. It's the spark that ignites breakthroughs. So, the next time you mess up, ask yourself, what can I create from this? You might surprise yourself. Creativity born from failure isn't just about big inventions or grand ideas. It's also about everyday moments. Maybe you're trying to bake a cake and it turns into a disaster. But hey, now you've invented abstract art baking. Or maybe you took a wrong turn on a road trip and discovered a hidden gem of a diner. These moments remind us that creativity thrives in the unexpected. Step 4. Failure teaches humility. Let's be real. Nobody likes a know-it-all. Failure has a funny way of keeping you humble. It reminds you that you're human, that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. Humility isn't about putting yourself down. It's about staying open to learning and growth. When you fail, you're more likely to seek advice, collaborate with others, and approach challenges with a beginner's mindset. And that's where the magic happens. Plus, being humble makes you more relatable. People admire those who can admit their mistakes and bounce back. It's a reminder that success isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Humility also strengthens your relationships. When you're willing to admit your faults, it opens the door for deeper connections. People appreciate honesty and vulnerability. So, in a way, failure doesn't just teach you, it also brings you closer to others. Step 5, failure helps you redefine success. Here's a question for you. What does success mean to you? Is it money, fame, happiness? Whatever your definition, failure has a way of making you rethink it. Maybe you've been chasing someone else's version of success. Maybe your failures are a sign that it's time to pivot, to pursue something that truly aligns with your values and passions. Failure forces you to pause, reflect, and ask yourself, am I on the right path? And sometimes, failure reveals that success isn't a destination at all. It's a journey, filled with ups, downs, and lessons along the way. When you embrace that mindset, failure becomes less scary and more like a stepping stone. Think about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to finding what truly matters. It's like a compass, gently nudging you toward your true north. So, instead of seeing failure as a roadblock, see it as a signpost. Step 6. Failure inspires others. Here's something you might not realize. Your failures have the power to inspire others. When you share your struggles and how you overcame them, you're showing people that it's okay to fall, as long as you get back up. Think about the stories that move you. They're rarely about people who had it easy. They're about underdogs, comebacks, and triumphs against all odds. Your failures could be someone else's inspiration, proof that they can overcome their own challenges, so don't hide your failures. Own them. Share them. They're part of your story, and your story matters. And here's a bonus. Sharing your failures not only inspires others, but also strengthens your own resilience. When you speak openly about your struggles, it takes the power away from fear and shame. You're no longer defined by your failures, you're defined by how you rise above them. Bonus, how to embrace failure. All right, we've talked about why failure is awesome, but let's get practical. How do you actually embrace it? Shift your perspective. Stop seeing failure as the end. Start seeing it as a lesson. Ask yourself, what did I learn? How can I grow from this? Take responsibility. Own your mistakes. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about taking control of your narrative. Celebrate effort. Focus on the fact that you tried. Even if you didn't succeed, you're ahead of everyone who didn't even attempt. Keep going. Remember, failure is only final if you quit. As long as you keep moving forward, you're still in the game. Find the humor. Sometimes failure is just plain funny. Laugh at yourself. It makes the journey a lot more enjoyable. Learn to adapt. Use failure as a chance to reevaluate your approach. What worked? What didn't? Treat it as an experiment. Closing thoughts. Failure isn't the enemy. It's your greatest ally. It's the teacher that'll push you to grow, the spark that'll fuel your creativity, and the guide that'll help you find your true path. So, the next time you stumble, don't beat yourself up. Get back up, dust yourself off, and say, thanks for the lesson. Because here's the truth. Every failure brings you one step closer to success. And when you finally get there, you'll look back and realize that failure wasn't the villain of your story. It was the hero all along. Thanks for watching. And remember, you've got this. Now go out there and fail spectacularly. because that's where greatness begins.